If your messages are clear but still get ignored, this lesson will change how you think about communication. Because a lot of professionals try to fix communication by improving sentences. They try to sound smoother. They try to explain more. But the real failure often happens earlier. They write a message that is useful to them, not useful to the receiver. Hi, I'm Fernando Diaz. This is Workplace Growth Lab, the channel dedicated to your professional growth, and you're watching Lesson 3 of the Career Communication Foundations course. By the way, if you want to watch the full course, just click the playlist link with the same name as the course. The link is in the video description and in the first pinned comment. In this lesson, you'll learn one simple tool that upgrades almost every message you send: the audience first filter. Here's the main idea. A message is only good if it is useful to the receiver, not accurate, not well written, useful. And when you adopt that standard, your response rates change fast. Quick question for you. Who do you write to most at work? Peers, your manager, or executives? Comment one of those three. Now, a quick continuity note so this feels like progress. In Lesson 2, we talked about clarity as reduced uncertainty, making people feel calmer because they can predict outcomes. In this lesson, clarity isn't the center. The center is usefulness. Same topic, family, different job. Because you can reduce uncertainty and still get ignored if the message is not shaped for the receiver. So what does useful really mean? Useful means the receiver can quickly do their job after reading the message. Decide, approve, prioritize, align, delegate, or move the work forward. Here's the problem. Most people send messages with the wrong default. They start with what they want to say. They start with their context. They start with their details. But the receiver is scanning for something else. What is this about? Why should I care? What do you need from me? So here is the framework, the audience first filter. Before you write or send an important message, ask 4 questions. Who is the receiver? What do they care about most? What decision or action do they need to take? What is the minimum context they need to do that? That's it. 4 questions, 10 seconds, and it forces your message to become useful instead of just complete. Now let's make it practical with a real workplace pattern. Same topic, different audience. Imagine you need to share a project risk. If you're writing to a peer, they care about what to do and how it affects their work. If you're writing to your manager, they care about impact, recommendation, and timing. If you're writing to an executive, they care about business impact, decision, and confidence. Same facts, different usefulness, so the message must change. Now I'm going to show you one rewrite that makes people respond faster, even when the topic is uncomfortable. But before I show the rewrite, subscribe. If you want the rest of this course in order, Workplace Growth Lab is structured like a step-by-step curriculum, not random tips. Now let's do the message clinic. Here's the common version. Quick update on the project. We found a few issues. We're looking into it. It might affect the timeline. I'll keep you posted. That sounds normal, but it's not useful. Useful to whom? The receiver still has to chase. What issues? How bad? What do you need? What happens next? Now here's the audience first rewrite for a manager. Update. We found a validation issue that may delay Friday's milestone by 1 day. Impact. Release quality is at risk if we ship on time. Recommendation. Shift the milestone by 24 hours so we can fix and retest today. Decision needed. Approve the 24-hour shift. Timing. Needed by 2 p.m. Same reality. But now the message is useful. It gives impact. It gives recommendation. It gives a decision. It gives timing. That is audience first. Now let's do the same rewrite for a peer. Update. Validation issue may push Friday by 1 day. I need 2 things. Confirm whether your piece depends on the current date and flag any downstream risks by noon. We'll post the fix plan by 12 p.m. And now for an executive. Update. We found a validation issue that may delay Friday's milestone by 1 day. Business impact. Low if we shift by 24 hours now, higher if we ship without retesting. Decision. Approve a 24-hour shift to protect quality. Confidence. We'll confirm final scope by 3 p.m. Same facts, different audience, different usefulness. That is why so many clear messages still get ignored. Now let's talk about 3 mistakes that trigger silence. Mistake 1. Writing to everyone. If your message is for everyone, it is useful to no one. Mistake 2. Context dumping. More context is not more usefulness. Usefulness is context that helps action. Mistake 3. Hiding your ask. People say, just sharing, when they actually need a decision, a review, or an owner. So here's your practice for this week. Pick 3 messages you send regularly: email, Slack, meeting updates. Before you send each one, run the audience first filter in 10 seconds. Who is the receiver? What do they care about most? What decision or action do they need to take? What is the minimum context they need? If you do that, your messages will get shorter, sharper, and more effective. Now let's recap. A message is only good if it is useful to the receiver. The tool is the audience first filter, and the goal is to shape your message so the receiver can quickly decide or act. Now here's what comes next. In Lesson 4, we'll upgrade this again. Because even when you shape a message for the right audience, it can still drift if you don't define the outcome. In Lesson 4, I'll show you the outcome first check, and why it's the difference between informing and moving work. If you want Lesson 4 next, hit like. I'll see you in the next lesson.